cloud. All right, well, hello everybody. This is Stacy from NWBA. Super excited to be here for a deep stretch today. If you are tuning in, if you want to just be walking on your mat for just to kind of get ready for that little piece of our warm up, you can do that. Just kind of walking around. You can kind of shake your arms a little bit if you want and just kind of start to basically tune into our mat, tune into our body, and be ready for what we're going to do today. We're going to do a nice deep stretch flow. We'll go from standing to mat today, because I know that's everyone's preference, so I try to stay with that. We'll do some dynamic stretching, but really trying to hold from that 1 to 2 minutes. So just to kind of really allow ourselves to release that muscle tension. So to start, we're just going to spread our feet out nice and wide. You can point your toes away from your body at like a 45-degree angle if you like. Good. And we're just going to keep our feet planted and have a nice soft knee bend. So just a nice slight knee bend. And we're just going to rotate our torso back and forth. So our head's gonna follow our shoulders. We're gonna rotate towards the right, looking back behind us, and then towards the left, looking back behind us. And you're just gonna kind of swing back and forth. Your arms can move with you and your shoulders. Go as fast or as slow as you want. And if you want, you can tap your body as you turn. Just again, kind of just giving ourselves a tactile touch, if you will, to really just ground ourselves into our body to get ready for this movement. So just doing a little spinal warm up. If you want to keep your core engaged, you can. So tuck that pelvic floor in so that you have a nice pelvic floor alignment. And again, you want to have a nice soft knee bend. We're just rotating back and forth. My head is following my shoulders. Good. So those legs are a bit farther, wider apart. My knees are bent. And you can just relax, come back to center. Now I want you to put your arms in, I like to say cactus arms or goalpost arms. So a 90-degree elbow bend, palms facing forward. We're gonna do torso twists again. Just gonna try to go back, or sorry, turn a little bit deeper. And so we're gonna hold it. So my knees are slightly bent, my pelvic floor is tucked in, my hands are in goalpost arms. I'm gonna rotate to the left and I'm just gonna hold it. Then I'm gonna breathe. And as I breathe, I want you to have your belly fill up like a balloon with air. And then as you exhale, deflate your belly the whole way and see if you can turn a little bit more. One more time, big inhale. Exhale all the way through. And can you turn a little bit more? Good, slowly come back to center. Inhale. As you exhale, rotate to your right. Just holding that position, breathing and holding. Inhale, filling that belly all the way up and exhaling all the way out. Can you turn a little bit more? Good. One more inhale. Exhale. Return to center. Now you can move your feet in to a narrow stance if you want with your feet facing forward. We're gonna do kind of a different little forward fold, if you will, or you can keep them wide. So whatever is more comfortable for when you're hinging at the hip and you're kind of folded in half for that forward fold. So we're gonna keep our knees slightly bent. I want you to inhale, and as you inhale, you're gonna raise your hands above your head, and as we exhale, we're gonna go into that forward fold. So inhale. Hands go up over your head, reaching up to the sky. And as you exhale, extend your hands out away from your body, coming into that forward fold. And you're just gonna let your head and your arms hang, and you're gonna listen to some of my cues. On each exhale, I want you to see if you can go a little deeper, pushing that nose between your knees or your top of your head toward the ground. Good.
Now I want you just to kind of sway your hands. So not, just sway your shoulders and your hands back and forth. Inhaling and exhaling. So kind of like the ocean or the waves, just letting your hands hang. And you're just swaying back and forth. You can shift your weight that way, back and forth. Really just imagining your spine stretching, but really the space between your mid-back and your shoulders and your neck just elongating. Go ahead and draw circles with your hands. Both ways. Good. Inhale. As you exhale, tuck your pelvic floor in, tucking your tailbone first, stacking each vertebrae on top of one another. Good. Go ahead and roll your shoulders back 3 times. And roll your shoulders forward 3 times. Good. We're going to do one more forward fold. Inhale. As you exhale, bring your hands up over your head. Reach to the sky. Hinge at the hip. So we're just bending forward, reaching out away from our body, slowly coming down to the ground. This time I want you to grab either elbow. So I'm holding on to both elbows. I'm going to push my right elbow towards the ground a little bit further than my left elbow. And I'm just going to hold it for maybe 3 to 5 seconds. You can go longer if you feel like you need a deeper stretch. So do the right, left, and then together, pushing those shoulder blades down towards the ground. Your head just should hang there. You don't have to hold it up, letting gravity do the work. And just trying to get a little bit of a deeper stretch in that mid-back. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly come back up. Beautiful job. We're just going to do our chest opener before we go into our flow. If you want to pedal your feet, meaning if you want to just pick your feet up so that they're not in that same position and just kind of walk in place, that's fine. Just to kind of stretch out those muscles that were just stationary for a bit. You're going to have a nice narrow stance, so we can have your feet hip width distance. And we're going to do a little bit of a chest opener. So if you are near a wall, you can use a wall to place your hand. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to reach both hands. So if you're using a wall, you can do one hand at a time. We're going to put our hands up in a T. We're going to face our palms forward. So palms forward like where our nose is. And then we're going to reach our hands back as far as they can go so that we're trying to almost touch our fingertips with our palms facing out away from our body. And we're just doing a chest opener. So you're going to feel that stretch along the inside of your arm and hopefully alongside of your chest. And you can just look up. And I want you to just breathe really big. If you're using a wall, I will tell you when to switch because we're going to hold this for as long as we can. If you're using a wall, you're just going to place one hand on the wall, looking up a little bit and just leaning into that wall on that hand. Just getting a nice stretch in that, in that chest and in that arm. Good. And as you're breathing, if you exhale, if you can reach back a little bit farther, try to, because as our muscles settle in, we can usually go a little bit further. If you are using a wall, now is the time to switch. If you're not, keep using that breath to push those fingertips closer to each other behind your back. Good. And remember, you can look up using your breath to go deeper into that stretch. Reaching those fingertips back away. Keep going, about 15 more seconds. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and let those arms down. And we're going to just let our arms swing down and then we're going to swing them up again.
So you're gonna swing them up to the sky and then let your arms come down and swing them up and down, almost like you're doing like the top part of like if you were doing a snow angel in the snow. You're just bringing those arms up and down. You can kind of put your left ear to your left shoulder, right ear to right shoulder. Look down, look up. Good, and just kind of shake it out. Perfect. All right, we're gonna take our legs out nice and wide. This is gonna be our first flow, standing. Legs out are nice and wide. We're going to take our right hand and we are going to palms in a T or arms in a T. That's what I'm trying to say. Arms in a T, palms facing down. Right hand is gonna go towards our right ankle. As our hand goes towards our right ankle to hold this opposite stretch, your left hand is gonna go in the air. And if you're able to, look at your left hand in the air. And we're just gonna hold this for 30 seconds, and then we're gonna do the other side. Then we'll do this one again. So I don't want us to be in these poses for 2 minutes, one at a time. I wanna kind of break it up a little bit. So right hand goes to right ankle, left hand's in the air, and we're just holding. As you're holding, I want you to feel where you feel the stretch. So if you feel it in your hamstring, that's great. If you feel it in your arm and your inner thigh, that's okay too. You can practice with shifting your weight around. So you can tuck your pelvic floor in a little bit. So you can tuck that booty in. And as that might mean that your hand comes up a little higher on your calf. See if you like that stretch better than that deep stretch. You might feel a pull in your opposite leg, also okay. We want to just go with where we find that stretching feeling and then just sit in it and allow that breath to create space in the muscles. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, slowly come back to center. My arms are in a T, my palms are facing down. Left hand goes to right ankle or right calf, and my right hand's up in the air, and I'm looking at my hand. And we're breathing. Again, remember, you can shift that weight around, forward or backwards, side to side. Feel where you need to have that stretch a little bit deeper. Good. Just breathing into that space. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. We're gonna do the same thing on either side for 30 seconds. So we'll get a total of a minute on each side. This time I want you to see if you can go a little bit deeper. If you don't want to grab your ankle, you can actually reach your hand through your legs to like the back of your heel. So you can play with that hand movement a little bit on this one. See if you can go deeper into that stretch. My arms are in a T, my palms are facing down. I'm inhale, and then I'm gonna take that right hand to my left leg where I feel fit. Again, you can go through your legs, you can go a little bit past your toes. I want you to feel where you get a better stretch. You can shift your weight into that left leg. It might extend the right leg a little bit, giving you a hamstring stretch. And I'm just breathing. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back up. Let yourself adjust. Okay, arms in a T, palms facing down. That left hand is going to go to that right leg. Right arm goes up in the air. My head looks at that hand in the air. Good. Just holding and breathing as you exhale. Can you go a little deeper? Feel free to shift around. Good. Reaching and stretching, you can move your hand placement. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and stand up and then just walk it out a little bit. We were just in that spot for about 2.5 minutes. So we'll just go ahead and walk around a little bit if you need to shake out those legs. We are going to do a straddle stretch next. So if you want to get ready, you can put your feet as wide as you can on your mat. So I want you to be nice and stable. So we're not going into a split, but just try to make them super, super wide and whatever's comfortable to make sure that you're stable. So you have that good foundation. So nice, big, wide stance. Good. So what we're going to do is you're going to follow my cues. We're going to start into like a forward. Yes?
Side side or front to back? Our legs.
So like nice and wide, like you are gonna do a split, and my feet are pointed about 45 degrees out. So almost like a sumo squat, but wider.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. So for this, everybody, we're gonna kind of start in a forward fold, and then you're gonna listen to my cues. So I want you to let your pelvic floor actually relax, so you don't have to tuck that pelvic floor in for this. Let your pelvic floor relax so that your tailbone becomes nice and heavy. Okay? I want you to look up and have your shoulder blades, back. Inhale. As you exhale, bring those hands up over your head. We're gonna inhale. As you exhale, I want you to bring your hands down to the ground, and you can actually touch your fingertips on the ground if you're able. So from here, we're gonna walk our hands back between our legs towards our glutes as far as we can. And we're gonna get a nice good stretch in our hamstrings. Now, you can keep your knees slightly bent. You can also, don't hyperextend them, but you also can unbend them to get a deeper stretch. And I want you to breathe. So if your hamstrings are tight, I want you just to breathe through it and imagine there's more space being created by stretching them. So Swiss cheese analogy, you want our muscles to look like Swiss cheese almost. When they get really, really tight, like a cross stitch, that's not what we want. We want space. So you want space so that the fascia can move. That's what we're doing right now. We're holding the stretch to really allow our body to create space so that we have optimal function. Inhale, exhale. On that exhale, can you go deeper? Can you move those hands back a little bit farther? You can just let your head hang. Good. Letting gravity do the work. Beautiful. We're still holding this position, but if it is hard to be kind of upside down, feel free to walk out of this position, stand up, and then come back down when you're ready. Just going nice and slow because that blood is rushing to our head. If you want to shimmy your hips a little bit, you can do that too. If you feel a little bit of more of a stretch, feel free to do that. We're really using our breath. I always exaggerate my breath because I really want you all to do that too. Big inhales, big exhales, really letting go of any of that tension. You can anchor your hands in the ground and lean your weight forward a little bit and see if you get a deeper stretch there as well. Or you can lean back a little bit and see if you get a deeper stretch. We have about 30 more seconds here. Good. You're doing great. Use that breath. 10 seconds. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to slowly walk out of this. So walk your hands out. Slowly come back up to standing. I want you to make sure that you still have a good foundation. You might be a little bit wobbly, and then slowly walk your feet back in so that you're standing, and go ahead and shake out those legs. Beautiful job, everybody. We are done. I think I was holding my breath that last 5 seconds. When you're done with that standing position, we're gonna go down to all fours on our mat. We got a really, good hamstring stretch there and some hip flexor work. We're gonna do some more hip flexor and hamstring and calf stretches right now. If it's hard to be on your knees, you can sit in a chair, or I'll give them modified stretches for the wall. So up to you. But we are gonna go on all fours. We're gonna do some cat-cow to child's pose first, just to kind of give that spine a little bit of a break and also let our hamstrings have a minute to rest. And this is kind of our flow to spot. I always call it midway, but we are now on all fours. My elbows, wrists, and shoulders are stacked up on top of each other. I'm going to make a C curve in my back and push my belly down towards the mat. You can have your feet wider, or sorry, not your feet, but your knees wider than your hips if that's more comfortable, or if it's easier to push your belly down towards the ground. Feel free to do that. And we're just gonna stay in cow pose. So inhaling, as you exhale, I want you to push that belly down to the ground. And then I want you to look up towards the ceiling. And we're just gonna hold cow pose for some big breaths. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through your mouth. I was gonna say exhaling through your belly. As I inhale, I actually feel a stretch from about my sternum to like my upper belly. So I really try to focus on just looking up to the sky to feel that stretch a little bit more. As I inhale, I let my belly hang, so I feel that stretch as the balloon expands in my belly. As I exhale, I just imagine all that tension releasing. Good. We're gonna shift to our cat pose. So we're gonna round our shoulders down, tuck our pelvic floor in, push our shoulder blades and spine up to the ceiling, and then tuck our chin to our chest. And here, I want you to use your hands as an anchor. I want you to push your weight into the mat as you round your shoulders up towards the sky, using that spine, just like if you were to scare a cat, and then their spine goes all the way up and their tail comes up. Our tail gets tucked in, but our spine is being pushed up. So using your mat, grounding your knees in your hands and pushing your weight up, tucking that chin in, and just inhaling and exhaling. You can shift your hands closer towards your knees if you want, really trying to just get that cat pose, that spine really rounded and elongated up. Good. All right, on that next inhale, exhale, we're gonna rotate between cat and cow pose. You can do it at your own pace with your own breath. Inhale. Exhale to cow. And now finding your own breath and pacing. You can transition from cat and cow as you like. Just using your breath and feeling where that tension lies, where you might need another breath cycle to stay. 10 more seconds. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna put our heels together. So push those heels together. And I want you to extend your arms out away from your body. We're gonna go into child's pose. So my arms are extended out. There's no bend in my elbows. I'm placing some weight on my hands and my shoulders, pushing my head down towards the mat as my glutes sink towards my heels. And I'm just stretching that upper back. And I'm letting my belly hang. And when you're ready, or if you can place your elbows on the mat if you'd like to. You can also keep them extended. And you're just gonna place your forehead on the mat. Just feel that stretch in your back, not only along your spine, but also your shoulder blades and around your spine. Inhale. As you exhale, push your glutes up towards your hands, and I want you to lay on your belly, nice and gently. Good. Laying on our belly, we're gonna place our hands flat on the ground, our thumbs aligned with our armpits. We're gonna do a little cobra pose. So I want you just to catch your breath, do some grounding breaths as your hands just find the mat. I'm looking straight through the mat. Tuck those elbows in. Press your weight from your hands up to the ceiling, pressing those shoulders up to the ceiling, looking straight up. If you want to walk your hands back a little bit, you can. We're just holding this pose for about 30 seconds. Really breathing to find that stretch in our abdomen. So similar to cow, as you let your belly expand like a balloon, do you feel it stretching in other ways? If you do, feel free to just bring intention to that space and allow your belly to not only contract and expand, but also to let that fascia or those muscles relax. There's a lot of science and biology around how we get a lot of muscle tightness around our organs, and it actually doesn't allow them to function properly. And so a lot of yoga poses like this create space so that our organs aren't compressed with too tight of muscles. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As you lower yourself, tuck your elbows into your sides. Good. We're gonna do that one just one more time for 30 more seconds because I want us to just really feel the difference of doing it from the first time to the second time. So looking straight through the mat, inhale. As you exhale, you're gonna press your shoulders up to the ground, up to the ceiling. Your head's gonna go back, looking at the ceiling. And again, if you wanna walk your hands back a little bit to get a better stretch in that lower abdomen, use your breath to fill that belly all the way up. Good. Just holding that pose. Really just allowing your belly to just relax, creating all that space for all our organs to process our food, our emotions, all the things it needs to do to just release. Good. 10 more seconds. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful job. You can rest your forehead on the mat and you can take your arms out to the side. So I want you to put your arms in a T with your palms facing down on the floor or on your mat. Good. And we're just going to relax our head on the ground. Good. Now from here, what I want you to do is we're going to, if you're able to, I want you to reach both hands behind your back so that they're either your fingers are interlocking behind your back on the small of your back, or they're just touching. So basically, as far as you can, reach your hands back behind your back with fingertips touching or just about touching. That's what we're going to do. And I'm still looking at the mat. From here, I'm going to just lift my chest up off the ground with my head off the ground, and I'm going to just lift and hold. And as I do that, I want you to push your elbows closer to each other, just where your fingertips are. So just pushing your elbows and shoulder blades together, pinching them together. As you hold, this is actually a little bit of an ab workout too, but also more of a chest opener. And you're just breathing. We're only holding this for 30 seconds. Really trying to open up that chest a little bit more. Good. Keep trying to push those shoulder blades together. My head is up, looking straight ahead. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and relax your shoulders and your hands. You can place them back out in a T if you want to. And we are going to do that one more time, but in between that time, what I want you to do is while your hands are in a T, palms on the floor, as I want you to just push your right shoulder towards the floor, then push your left shoulder towards the floor. So almost like your shoulders are dancing. As you look through the floor, just getting any potential aches and pains or any potential tension in those, kind of not really where your pecs are, but just above your pecs. Sometimes when we do the opposite stretch, it helps us go deeper the next time. So we're going to place our hands behind our back again. So go ahead and get in that position. Place your hands behind your back. If you can touch your hands together, that's awesome. Actually, really try. On the first time, I couldn't quite lock my fingers, but this time I can. So again, that's what shows us that we are opening up as we're stretching. With my hands locked behind my back, I'm going to look straight through the ground first. And now I want you to press your right shoulder to the ground and your left shoulder to the ground. So just before we do that stretch again, just doing a little bit of a counter stretch, making sure we're working on the full range of motion. Now with those hands as close to touching or touching as possible, I want you to push your elbows down towards your glutes. So what we did is we just elongated our neck. We don't want those shoulders in our neck. Inhale. As you exhale, lift your chest up, lifting your head up to look straight ahead, feeling that tension and pull, hopefully release in our shoulders, our pecs. And go ahead and squeeze your elbows or squeeze your shoulder blades together and hold while we breathe. Good. Beautiful job, everybody. We're really getting a nice, good, we hold all of our tension and stress, a lot in our bodies, but really in our neck and shoulders. So what we're doing is really just releasing that tension in our neck and shoulders, forcing ourselves to lift that chest as our shoulders are just maybe a little bit tight. Maybe it feels just like a little bit of work, but once we relax them, everything's gonna melt away. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go ahead and relax those arms. You can put them in a T or you can put them up above your head. That might feel good too, just to kind of stretch out where we were holding. You can place your head or forehead on the mat and go ahead and just breathe and maybe move your head back and forth a little bit. Good. We're going to go back to all fours and then we're going to go to not sitting on our knees, but basically on our knees. So to all fours, and then we're gonna be on our knees. We're not gonna have our glutes touching our heels. We're gonna just be basically standing up on our knees. Make sure you go nice and slow so you don't get dizzy. And now that we're up, feel free to roll your shoulders forwards and backwards. If you wanna take your left hand and put it on your right arm and pull your right elbow towards your chest. That's another good counter stretch. So take that left hand, grab your right elbow and just pull it across your chest. Inhale, exhale. With each exhale, imagine your body melting like an ice cube. Good. All that tension going away. Now take that right hand and reach behind your head towards your left shoulder. That left hand's gonna come up over that right elbow, pushing that right elbow behind your head or that left hand down towards your left shoulder blade. That right hand towards your left shoulder. And we're just holding, just kind of sitting up straight. You can tuck your pelvic floor in if you want to work your core a little bit. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go ahead and shake out that right arm. Very good. Some really nice release in that right shoulder. We're gonna take that left arm and pull it across our body using our right hand, pull that right, oops, my mic just fell. Pull that right elbow, pull the right elbow, oh my goodness. Let me start over, my mic fell, so I got a little confused. Left arm goes across the body, right hand pulls the left elbow towards your body. And we're gonna just hold it, trying to get a nice stretch. Good. About 10 more seconds. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and let that left arm go down. All right, let's lift that left hand over our head and let that left hand go towards our right shoulder. Our right hand can grab our left elbow, pushing that left elbow down towards that shoulder blade. Looking up, nice high chest, and just really breathing. And again, if you want to work that core, you can engage your core. Beautiful. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going to take that right leg out and put it into a 90 degrees. So I want you to make a 90-degree angle with your hip, knee, and ankle. So that right leg is going to go out in front of you. Left leg is going to stay where it is. We're going to put our hands on our hips or at our sides, and we're going to shift our weight. So we're going to push our hips towards the wall, the opposite wall. So we're going to push our hips towards our right toe. But keep them square. Don't angle your hips towards the right toe. Just push forward and then lean back to get a good stretch in that left quad and your left groin area potentially too. Looking up and just getting a nice stretch in that quad, which we haven't quite done yet. If you're on the wall, it's just doing a lunge stretch. Same thing, both hands on the wall, and really until you feel pull or that stretch in your left quad. Good. For about 3 more seconds. You can lean back a little bit more with each breath, feel free. Good. 10 more seconds. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's put both knees down. And we're going to take the left leg out now to do the same stretch. Left leg goes in front at a 90-degree angle. I'm going to press my hips forward and I'm going to lean back and just hold, feeling that stretch in my right quad and potentially my right groin area. Pushing that knee forward, leaning back. Good. Feel free to move around to see if you get a deeper stretch in different ways, shifting that weight a little bit forward or back, extending kind of your weight up towards the ceiling, if that helps. About 30 more seconds. Good. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful job. We're going to go down to our glutes. So we're going to sit Sit with your legs out and straddle stretch. So legs out nice and wide for straddle stretch. So my legs are out nice and wide. You can point and flex your toes if you like while you're just kind of getting into position. Good. And as you just settle into your mat, I want you just to sit up nice and straight. I want your shoulders to fall down so that they're not up towards your ears. And just breathe. Good. And again, you can point or flex your toes if you feel a better stretch in either way. I want you to take that right hand, reach it over your right ear, and we're going to reach towards our left foot or our left toe. You can take your left hand and place it under your left leg on your calf or near your Achilles, and then you can pull yourself closer to that left leg. So really trying to get that left ear towards your left knee, or basically as far as you can go down. If this is really easy for you, try moving your legs out wider. And we're just holding this for about 30 seconds. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back up. Sit up nice and straight. Drop those shoulders down. Let's do a couple breaths here. Take that left hand, reach that left hand over your head toward your right leg. And again, you can take your right hand and place it under your leg near your Achilles, and then pull your body closer to that right leg to get a deeper stretch. Good. About 20 seconds left. Can you go a little deeper? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful job. We're going to take the bottoms of our feet and bring them together for a nice butterfly stretch. So bring the bottoms of your feet together. Pull those heels towards your glutes. You can lean forward or lean back as you hold your ankles. And just try to really get a deep stretch in this butterfly. You might not have to use your elbows to push down on your knees if you already feel a stretch. We're just going to breathe, keeping those shoulders out of our ears. Good. Good. Now, can you pull those heels any closer towards your glutes for our last 20 seconds? Can you lean your weight forward to get more of a stretch? Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to take our feet out, straight out in front of us. So just nice and straight. I'm going to take that right ankle and I'm going to place that right ankle just behind my left knee. So a figure 4 stretch. You can also, if it's comfortable, put it just below your knee, closer to your ankle. Just don't put your ankle bone on top of your knee because that's not comfortable. And we don't want to really move our kneecap around. So I'm holding with both hands my right leg to position it just above my knee, my left knee, and I'm just holding this leg. Now, to feel a deeper stretch, you can shift your weight to the right hip. You can shift your weight forward. I want you just to find that spot where you're like, ooh, that is tight. And then you're going to hold it and you're going to breathe. If your shoulders are in your ears, drop your shoulders, sit up straight. You can move that weight while still being up straight. And we're holding and breathing. I want to hear nice big inhales and exhales from everybody. Releasing that tension. If you want, you can even shift your weight in circles. Just really trying to get that hip flexor to open up. When we sit a lot or we work at our desks, even it's just our hip flexors get really, really stuck. So we want to really open those up the rest of the way. We did a good job of getting our hamstrings and our quads opened up today. So we want to just kind of finish the job with a nice hip flexor opener. Good, 15 seconds. If it's released, I want you to find a new spot. Put weight somewhere else to find that tension again. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly bring that leg back out. We're going to take that left leg now. We're going to pull that left leg close to us. And again, you can place this just in front of your knee or just behind your knee, or just above your knee, excuse me. And for this leg, for me actually, it's a little bit harder to get it above the knee. So I'm going to have to work a little harder to hold that in position. I'm going to sit up straight and I'm going to push my weight forward or towards my left hip until I feel that tightness, and I'm going to breathe. And I'm going to allow my body to just release that pressure and tension. Our bodies know what to do if we allow it to do it, you know? We just have to make time and space. So everybody, you broke the hardest battle today. You showed up, and you guys all show up every day. You're very dedicated. So kudos to you for doing that. And again, just allowing our body to just release that tension. We have about 25 more seconds. So if you want to pull that leg in closer or shift your weight, try to go a little deeper, now is the time to do that. Good. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and shake out those legs. You are now going to lay on your back on the mat. So we are now going to be on our backs on our mat. And we just have a few minutes of class left. You can put your feet flat on the mat. And I want you just to take your hands above your head, palms facing up towards the ceiling. Good. So with that, now you might or might not, but you might feel like a little bit of a pull, kind of like in your armpit areas, or just a little bit different in your shoulders, maybe a little tension, or even just achiness. We did a lot of the opposite motion of what we're doing right now. So honestly, all I want you to do is just stay in this position and breathe. And as you exhale, just imagine yourself melting into the ground as we just do a counter stretch for basically the opposite side of our arm and our shoulders. And if you want, you can wiggle your knees back and forth, but we're just letting gravity do the work as we sink into our mat. So right now my hands are above my head. Now I want you to take your hands out to a Y. So just the same thing, really reach those fingertips away from the body, and then just breathing. And as you exhale, allowing yourself to just melt into the mat. You can even just push your spine into the mat too, to feel a little bit of a difference with your shoulders or your armpits, feeling a little bit of a stretch. Now take those hands to a T, same thing, inhaling. As you exhale, allowing that spine to press into the mat. Take those hands down towards your pockets, palms are still facing up. I want you to push your head up away from your shoulders, Drop those shoulder blades down as those palms are facing up. And then just inhale. And exhale. Pushing those fingertips towards your toes as your head pushes away from your toes. Good. Now I want you to take both hands and I want you to give yourself a nice big squeeze, a nice big hug, try to get your palms past each elbow. So really just giving our body a big hug, squeezing our shoulders together. As you do this and breathe, I want you to rock to the right side and to the left side a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. Good. Go ahead and take those hands out to a T, palms facing down. We're going to zip up our toes to our glutes. So pretend you have a zipper from your big toe all the way up your legs towards your glutes. You're going to take both legs and you're going to drop your knees towards your left side as your head turns towards your right side. And we're just going to hold. Good.
Casey, does that right hip lift up off the ground?
It does, and that's okay. Yes. Good question. About 30 more seconds, and then we're going to go to the other side. And this is really where we're just allowing gravity to just let us melt into the mat. We're kind of coming to the close of class. So just feeling that body, our body may be tingling a little bit. You might feel that lactic acid breaking up. I mean, we really just did a really great release. And so just allowing our bodies to just kind of complete that like dissolving or that melting of all that lactic acid, just imagining it kind of like running through or melting through our mats. Inhale. As you exhale, bring those knees back to center. I want you to just squeeze those legs together like they're all zipped up. Drop those knees to the left and look to the left. Drop the knees to the right and then look to the left. And again, just letting gravity do the work. You don't need to push or pull in any direction. Just inhale and exhale. As you exhale, your spine should sink into the mat. Good. Breathing. Be breathing into your pelvic floor. With each exhale, those legs can go a little bit further towards the ground. About 15 seconds left. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're now going to hug our knees. If you can't hug your knees, you can place your hands behind your knees and grab the hamstrings. We're going to hug those knees and pull them close to our chest. And then we're just going to rock around so that we can massage our lower back. If you want, you can draw circles with your knees as we just massage our lower back. So if your knees are together, you can take your knees out wide. Just get a nice little stretch. You can flex your whole leg. You can keep it bent. Just kind of give yourself a little bit last stretch. Go ahead and take your knees down to the mat, and I want you to extend your legs out and point your toes, and I want you to place your palms in like an upside down Y, so not quite towards the pockets, your pockets, but out a little bit with palms facing up. Go ahead and close your eyes. And we're just going to end with what is Savasana, but also I'm going to do it a little differently. So I'm going to do that thing where I'm going to have you tighten every muscle in your body, and then I'm going to walk you through releasing that as you breathe. So as you inhale and exhale, I want you to squeeze and tighten everything in your body. So you can ball your fists, you can scrunch your face and your eyes. We're gonna breathe. And we're just gonna imagine a nice waterfall, like we're a big tight ice cube, and this is gonna be the last melting phase of our deep stretch. So you're gonna imagine a waterfall melting away at your forehead as your forehead relaxes, as your eyes relax, as your nose unscrunches, as your mouth relaxes, as your neck relaxes, and then your chest, your shoulders, your elbows. Go ahead and relax those hands and wiggle your fingers. Relax that pelvic floor and spine. Let it just sink into the mat. Relax your hips, your hamstrings and your quads, your knees, your calves and your shins. And finally your heels and then your toes. Wiggle those toes. And just inhale and exhale, relaxing into the mat, letting gravity do the work. Thanking yourself for showing up today. Go ahead and sit up, crisscross applesauce. If you like, you can also stand up. You're gonna make two muscles. You're gonna kiss your left muscle, then your right muscle. You can give your shoulder a high five, or your left and your other shoulder, your other shoulder a high five. And that is class today, everybody. Good job showing up. So happy to have you all. Thank you so much.